And I said, nah, man. I texted him verbatim. I said, nah. I said, I'm literally going to fish my butt off the rest of the day. Like, I know how Chick does. I know what's capable of a Chickamauga, just the same way Riser caught a 24 the day before. I know what swims in Chickamauga. Like, my PB is from Chickamauga, 25 inches. I caught on August 27th, 5 years ago. I know what eats that time of year on Chick. And I was like, I'm just gonna fish 110%. I went and like paddled my way through a grass mat to go fish a spot where I hooked a really big fish in June, the last time I was on Chick, and it was a complete waste of time. And I paddled my way back out and past Ewing, and he was like, yeah, this ain't happening, whatever else. And so I decided to move boat ramps. I was like, I thought that whole area was just dead. So I go to leave, get on the road. I'm like, I'm pulling a Marshall midday move. I'm 110%, and I'm on the interstate. I'm moving spots, and Lambert calls me and he goes, "Congratulations, you've been invited to be on KBN Monday night." And I was like, dude, you can ask Lambert. I said verbatim. I said, dude, I said, I don't think like I have an 11-inch lead. I get it. I appreciate it. And I literally said verbatim, I said, dude, I said, somebody, Riser or somebody, is going to catch a 25-inch fish and screw me over.
Yeah.
And it wasn't 10 minutes after we got off the phone.
It was maybe 5 minutes.
Maybe 5 minutes. I get a call from Ewing, and I said, what in the world? And I answer the call, and he goes, hey, man, just so you know, I caught a 25, and I'm going to beat you in this tournament. And I'm going to cull one more fish, and I'm going to beat you. And I was like, Chick doesn't have the best service. And I was like, what? What in the world? I was like, I went 0 to 100. I was like, I had just called Ewing, like, I don't know, probably 30 minutes before that, and was like, hey, man, I'm leaving. I just saw you caught a 20-inch fish. Like, that's awesome. Congratulations. That's awesome. Keep culling. Good job. And then when he called me back and told me he caught a 25, and then basically I lost service, and I was like, there's no way. Like, there's no way he caught a 25, right? There's no way. So I pulled up the leaderboard, saw he caught a 25, and I immediately went full blown like nearly panic attack. I bet I was doing like 95 down the interstate. And I said, dude, I said, I got to get to this spot. I've got a 17.5-inch fish I got to cull, which is stupid when you say that. It's like, oh, I got to cull 17.5. But at Chick, it's like at any given point, you can catch a 25, obviously. And I was like, I've got to go somewhere to catch a big fish. And I literally went to my second spot, and I caught 16.5, 16.5, 16 and a quarter, 16. I had like 82 inches when we're close to it, 80 inches ish on my second limit of fish that did me no good whatsoever. And every time I hook one, I mean, you know how it is when your adrenaline's going. I'd hook one and be like, oh, there it is. There's a coal fish. That might be, a little bit of a coal. And I'd get it in. It's a 16 and a half. And I was like, throwing fish 20 feet in the air because I was pissed off to catch a 16.5-inch fish, which literally I think every single person in that tournament would have loved to have a 16.5-inch fish either day.
I would like to just submit one, would be my goal for the tournament if I could redo things. I believe your quote was, if Ewing beats me, I'm selling all my stuff. Something like that. Retirement was imminent at that point.
It was something along those lines, man. Like don't get me wrong. Like Ewing's my boy. Like, I called him and congratulated him when he caught that 20 and a half or 20 or whatever it was. And I was like, so, I didn't want to count my chickens before they hatched. And I literally was like, when people were texting me like, hey, congratulations at 11 o'clock, I was like, no, don't do that. No, don't do that. And even when Lambert called me, I was like, man, that ain't right. I don't like that. And when Ewing caught that fish, I was just like consumed with, here we go again. Like, this is not going to happen. Like, why do I bother doing this if all I'm going to do is finish second place? And it was, dude, it wasn't right. I threw a jackhammer up into a tree, and there was so much adrenaline in it. I bet it went 20 yards past where it was supposed to go up in this tree. And it was a jackhammer that I've caught fish on at Susquehanna, Sweden, Wolf and Fox River, and at Chick. And I bet I didn't yank that thing 3 times. I just reeled down as fast as I could and yanked it and snapped it off and like just put the rod down and started throwing something else. Like I was so out of sorts for that last hour. Like I probably couldn't tell you what my name was for that last hour.
I know how Edwin talks. Obviously, I've know Edwin. We've had him on the show. I just imagine his voice telling you in that calm, dry voice,
Hey, bro.
Just call when I'm gonna beat you.
I just got a 25. I'm gonna beat you, bro.
Hey! Just so you know, I caught a 25 on a Cinco, and I'm gonna beat you if I pull more fish. And then the service went out, and I was like,
I appreciate his style because that's exactly what I did on Watts Bar. When I caught that 19 and a half, I was like, I told Lee Rose, I was like, let Edwin know I'm about to call this other fish and beat him.
yeah.
It's like, a head game, man. It's a head game, and it worked.
I've made those phone calls to other people.
It was
yeah, like game. I made those phone calls to other people, and I appreciate the trash talk. Like I get it. Like, I respect that. That's part of the game, and I love it. I've made those calls to other people, but I've never had anyone make that call to me, and it was so unsettling. It was like, wait a minute, like. Not only was he making the phone call, that's the first time I have ever had anyone call me, because I'm always the person that's like coming out of nowhere, like at the end of the day, like, have a bad day 1 and a good day 2 to kind of come get stuff. Or Cole, like with a 20-inch fish at the last minute, and it's like.
Or a 25-inch fish at the last minute.
Or a 25-inch fish based on Lambert's
experience. Same shoes.
Yeah, and it was like, I was like, this is my whole fishing life is going to come full circle because I caught a 25-inch fish. Granted, I didn't need it that day. That's a side note. I still would have won that tournament anyway. But I caught a 25-inch fish to beat Lambert for AOY a few years ago in a local trail. And I was like, Lambert calls me little brother. I call Ewing little brother sometimes. I was like, my whole fishing life is going to come full circle and somebody's going to beat me while calling me little brother with a 25-inch fish. I said, this is not right.